Today I'm going to be talking about some of the exercises for grade 3. And I've chosen to start off with an exercise called hand to hand. And this is principally for hand balance and contrasting articulation. So a good steady pulse is needed in the right hand in the first half, just to hold the music together. The right hand has the pulsing chords, which are all played staccato. Beginning with fingers 5 and 3, you need a good control. Because they're repeated notes, ensure that you keep your fingertips close to the key surface. The more you lift, the more percussive it becomes, and the less control you'll have over the level of dynamic which you can create. So imagine that's your background that you're creating, and then the left hand begins. The whole is marked piano, but the left hand has to have a singing quality. It is actually marked legato e cantabile, so we need a little arm weight just to project the melodic nature. If you think of a cello sound, it'll give you that lovely sonority which you can latch onto to create the musical effect in your head. The second half of the exercise, there is a role reversal, so the repeated staccato chords move into the left hand, and then through changing shapes as the bass note descends. And you'll notice that I have to move my hand up towards the black note so that I'm in a comfortable position to play at the beginning of bar 6. And now, because the melody is in the right hand, we have to make the left hand the background and the right hand becomes the important material. And tail off with the poco rowl at the end. The second exercise which I'd like to play for you is called Prelude. And this is all to do with coordination principally of pedal with finger work. When we're using the pedal, do listen very, very carefully. Pedaling you think of as something that you do with your foot, but I would say equally you have to pedal with your ears, because without that critical faculty, you're not actually going to know whether you're creating a clean change of pedal when the harmony actually moves into a different place. Have a listen to this. One of the things that we try to achieve with pedaling, good pedaling technique, is to maintain a stability in the foot movement, and this is best done by keeping the heel on the floor. The harmony changes at the beginning of each bar, so that's going to be the focal point for the footwork, and that's where we have to listen very carefully. The left hand is descending by either semitones or tones. If you don't have clean pedal work, you will end up with a blur. which is just about the most objectionable sound that you could want to hear in this piece. So we're looking for very clean harmonic lines. The whole of the first bar is devoted to a D major chord. The whole of the second bar is an A major chord. And the third bar is a B minor chord. And it is only the notes of those chords that we actually want to hear in the music. Let's just hear the first three bars again. Of course, the right hand is broken up into little broken chord figures, but essentially you're hearing those harmonies. And what a lovely flow it gives to the music as it lilts along. But pedalling is going to be the thing that creates, if you like, the soul of this piece. The second line, just to give some variety, has some little touches in the articulation. And then reintroduce the pedal. And a gentle finish with the poco rid. And when you've learnt the exercise, you might want to consider, why is it that the composer has chosen to use pedal in some bars and not in other bars? Think about what it is that the pedal does to the sound, how it makes the sound different, what effect it has on the music, and why perhaps it just isn't right to use the pedal in certain circumstances. The final exercise is entitled Invention. And the title perhaps harks back to Bach's two-part inventions, and those of you who have played any of Bach's two-part inventions will know that the musical material is actually shared between the hands, and you're going to hear quite a lot of that in this short exercise. The playing requires very, very clear and neat articulation and very good hand independence. So the exercise needs a sense of flow. It mustn't be unhurried. It's marked andante, but do take note of the metronome marking, because at crotchet equals 52, this will give you plenty of time to allow the semiquavers to take place in a controlled way. So you might think 52 isn't particularly fast to indicate the flow of an andante, but when you're hearing it played, the semiquavers will always create the movement. So do think carefully of the tempo before you start playing. Straight away you can hear the left hand has the staccato underneath the right hand legato. Very delicate indeed. And in both first and second bar, the right hand needs to cross over second finger with thumb. Take particular care in the second bar because the crossover is right over to the F sharp, so a little further than you're used to going. The first bar takes you to the G sharp, and then you need to go over a little further. The second line, you can hear some imitation between the two hands. The right hand has the descending scale figure, followed by the left hand. And listen for the interesting use of syncopation there. And even in the penultimate bar, highlight the left hand because that's going to give a real kick to the syncopation. Da, 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 da. A little accent there will provide a nice sense of quirkiness, you could say, as the piece winds up. Well, thank you for listening to those, and I hope you enjoy playing them. They're all good fun, and they show many contrasting facets of piano style and technique.